Would you spy on your kids to keep them safe, and how far would you take it? Well, thanks to technology, you can take it pretty far. Smartwatches now give parents the power to track their kids and even set up zones where mums or dads receive an alarm if their child moves outside of it. An alert is also triggered if the child takes the watch off. Mums and dads can also secretly install apps to spy on texts and internet searches, or even listen in on conversations by remotely activating a device microphone. But what are the legal implications for parents? Here to answer that question is Simon Creek from HHG Legal. Hi, Simon.
Hello, Tracy.
Some of this is pretty much tantamount to hacking or phone tapping, so simply, is it legal?
Look, it's a really big question, because for anybody under 18, for you to in any way survey their movements, their activity, or track them in any way, shape or form is illegal, and the penalties are huge. But when we talk about children, our children, and when we do anything that we can justify in the name of parenting, none of those limits apply. We can use whatever technology we like to make sure, in the broadest sense, that we believe they're safe.
What are the children's rights in this situation? Do they have any at all?
Look, again, a question that might surprise many people watching. We like to think today that children are more empowered than they ever have been, but when it comes to technology, they literally have no rights, except if we're in a situation where one parent or another has ever been accused of abuse or is in any way restrained by a restraining order. Outside of that anomalous situation, children have to do and put up with what mum and dad put in place.
Okay, so generally parents are responsible for kids under the age of 18, and you've mentioned there, small aspects of the age factor, but does it have any factor here at all, really?
No, I mean, This is the only time, in fact, the 18 issue goes further is if an 18-year-old child or older has a disability or is in any way arguably still in need of protection, then you can continue to look after them using this technology. But for children under 18, generally speaking, they've got to put up with what mum and dad put in place, because otherwise, how can you ask that child for consent? They're too young to give it.
Okay, so what's your advice to parents? How far can they go in keeping an eye on their kids?
As a parent myself and as a family lawyer, I've got a pretty strong view on this, and I think it's very much in line with the case law, and that is you do whatever you need to look after your children. Use whatever technology is out there, use the watches, look at the apps, particularly if you're worried about your children hanging around with the wrong crowd, as we might say. Have a chat to them though, don't do it without them knowing. There's a very fine line here between using technology to look after them and breaching their trust. So tell them what you're doing, but don't let their response stop you from using that technology to keep them safe.
There's so much out there as well, so it is important to keep on top of it.
It is.
All right, Simon Creek, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Not at all.